Hello, and it's awesome to see you again with Spiced Up Manifestation. We are in day 24, moving along with our hot sauce sessions. And I welcome everybody who is joining me live or anybody who is going to be watching this beautiful replay. And today on the manifestation menu is the intentions versus expectations. I love this topic because a lot of times we have to remind ourselves that there is a difference between intentions and expectations. So let me define what exactly intentions are. Intentions is what you plan or mean to do. It's like your goal or your purpose behind an action that you are doing. For example, if you help someone because you want to make them feel better, your intention is to be kind. Let's look at the other example of something that we are doing every time. When you have the intention to bake, it means you plan for something very delicious, like cookies or a cake. Your goal is to create something tasty, whether for yourself to share with the friends or maybe for the celebration occasion. The intention guides your actions, like gathering ingredients and following the recipe in order to achieve that end result, to bake something delicious. The same thing when we apply these intentions in for our goals in our life. And let me just define. Hey, Wendy, great to see you. Woohoo! Thanks for stopping by. So let's talk about intentions versus expectations. So I just defined what exactly is intention is, and expectation, on the other hand, is something that we expect to have no matter what's going on, right? No matter of our circumstances, this is something that we want and we want to have it. And let me just define what is the difference between intention and expectation. Intention is something that I intend to attract the fulfilling relationship. And expectation is I expect to find my soulmate by next month, right? It's more definite. It's more like this is the timeline. This is what I'm just giving myself. Intention could be something like I intend to improve my health and well being. And expectation is I expect to shed 10 pounds in 2 weeks. Intention is I intend to learn and grow from every experience. And expectation is I expect to master this skill immediately, right? Does it sound familiar? So, just to recap, intention focus on how you want to feel and the journey you want to take. Expectations is set specific outcomes and deadlines, which can lead to disappointment if they aren't achieved. And that's exactly what a lot of people are facing in the journey of manifestation because they do not really set these intentions. What is that? Just, like having what they truly want to have. But at the same token, do not hold your hand tight and say this is exactly how I expected. This is the time frame that I'm given to the universe to deliver, right? Because I always keep reminding when our manifestation comes to fruition, that's exactly when we become that energetic match to the desire that we want. And for that, we know there is the work to be done. We know we cannot attract the reality that we are desiring with the way that we are today. So we have to uplevel our self-image. We have to upgrade our identity because the person who wants to have what they want to have has to become somebody else in order to receive exactly what they want. And when we talk about intentions, we just learn how to set intentions. And I would invite you to start something to do it every day. And we already kind of touched upon it on other sessions where I said every morning, wake up and set the intentions, how you want that day to be like, whether you want to be excited in that day, whether you want to be that caring and giving person and somebody who is just adding the value to somebody's life. and how you want your day to go by, maybe to meet the people that are going to bring you closer with your manifestation, right? So we learn how to set the intentions, meaning we just directing the energy in the desired direction, versus when we expect something is just like, this is the result, this is the outcome that I want to have. And what happened when we set these expectations, the expectations, if something doesn't work the way we want, it just leads us to disappointment. And then it goes to any area of our life. For instance, if somebody is going on a date and they expect that it's going to be beautiful and everything is going to work out, right? They keep expecting that from the other person. But if the other person does not show up the way the other person is expecting them to be, that's it. What happens? The person that's on the date is pretty disappointed. They do not want to do anything. They might cry. They might go into the negative emotions, versus when you just go with the intention to have a good time, intention to get to meet somebody new, intention to have a good conversation, and intention to keep yourself open for the possibilities, right? Do you feel even the energy when we are talking about intentions versus expectations? Yeah, 369. Yeah, so this is like one of the, yeah, of the manifestation skills, but we are talking about just the way we approach everything, right? Whether we expect something and we hold it tight and say, this is exactly how it's supposed to show up. Even in that 369, we can do this practice, but it doesn't mean that everything materializes in the time that we expect. That's why it's very important not to hold any expectations, but rather allowing the circumstances to unfold, and everything is coming to us in the divine time, Wendy. Right? So, again, when we talk about intentions, just think about how it feels for you. It feels very light, it feels very free flowing, it feels just open and allowing, right? And when we talk about expectations, I expect to master that skill, I expect to receive my desire in 6 months, right? That feels very constrictive, that feels like very resistance, right? So just start noticing and paying attention exactly how the energy is going, right? Yes, many descriptive words, exactly. So the more you're gonna feel how the energy is going through, right? So we know exactly how this is. Yes, no time frame. We do not put the time, and that's exactly when the clients come to me, and I say that nowadays, before I was taking people to work with me for the first 3 months. Now I said minimum 6 months, because if you really want to see some changes, it has to be a little bit longer, because when you stay longer in that structure of support, you expect not expect, you anticipate to see these beautiful transformations, right? Again, when we set up something, our vision, as remember we were talking about the vision, the first session we had, we talk about 3 years from now. And then people come to me, and in 3 months, they expect to have their desire to come to fruition. And I say, wait, did you recall that you put the date on it, which is 3 years from now? And again, not to hold yourself accountable for these 3 years. Your wish can come true much faster than the 3 years, but you give yourself the time frame just to stretch that, right? Just to keep your mind quiet. Otherwise, your analytical mind is going to say, you know what? You haven't done it last year. What makes you think you're going to do it this year, right? So we want to give that time that our logical mind can't even argue, because our logical mind doesn't know what's going to happen in 3 years. So it's easy for it to kind of connect and believe in that. And what I'm trying to say, that it doesn't mean it's going to take you 3 years. For some people, it could take 6 months. For some people, it could take a year. Depends what areas you have to work on yourself. Remember, your wish comes to true as soon as you become the energetic match. Everybody has different journey, everybody has different areas to work on, and some people feel resistant, some people have more blockages, these energetic blocks that are not allowing them to receive what they want. But always remember, you are growing, you are becoming that another version of yourself, and that another version of yourself is going to match that creation that you are having with your vision, and you are going to tap into that manifestation. And I always keep emphasizing, it's not even a question if. There is no if or buts. You definitely are going to receive what you want. However, we do not keep any attachments to expectations in terms of when it's going to show up and how it's going to show up. And I just wanted to share that story with you because when I lost my job during pandemic, and that was the time when I started to connect more than this is something that I want to do. I want to have my business. Again, I looked at my education. I had my education degree in accounting. All my life, I was working in accounting field. So my analytical and logical mind was saying to me, okay, the only way you can start your business is doing something that you already know how to do, something that you are being proficient at. But my heart was saying, no way, Jose, because this is not something that was inspiring me. This is not where I see myself doing and living and enjoying. And since I couldn't understand what exactly is my path, what am I going to be connecting to? And remember, I mentioned all I had is just that image that I'm sitting on the beach, I'm opening my laptop, and I am working. What I was doing, I did not know. But I had just that even such a vivid image that it felt so, so real, and every day I would connect to it. Every day I was just seeing myself doing something because my dream was I can have my laptop and I can travel all over the world. And that's all I need in order to connect and do something, whatever I didn't know what I was going to do. But at the same token, as I was still discovering, as the universe was unfolding everything for me, at the same time, I was talking to my nephew, and he told me, you know what? There is that opportunity with the Amazon. And I'm sure you all know about these vans and trucks that do the delivery. Actually, the independent contractors who work for Amazon the deliveries. So he was telling me, apply for this one. So become like independent owner of this delivery service, and you can just start your business. And I did apply. I filed the application, and as I was waiting for it, the information started to show up. It's like, remember what we are focusing our mind. It's going to start to expand. And if you are paying attention at the signs, you're going to receive multiple signs. Either you're on the right track or you're on the wrong track. And then I started to see the videos of the people who were working for Amazon, these workers who were making minimum money, and their rotation was very, very high because people were complaining about the pressure, also about not even having the time to go to the bathroom, forget about eating. And then I saw that people are not really staying in this kind of work. And then I finally tapped into somebody who was writing the review as the owner of one of the delivery services. And he said that, watch out, if you are not going to be meeting their guidelines in timing, they have the right to take the packages that your drivers had to deliver and give it to somebody else who is more efficient. That was something that really struck with me. But then I said, okay, I'm just going to allow the universe to show whatever is right for me. And I knew it's going to be stressful. I knew I would be in charge of the people who are going to be working, in charge of the vans that I would be renting out, a lot of responsibilities, right? And obviously, I've never done something like that before. But I was just waiting. And next thing, I received the decline, right? I received that my application didn't meet their criteria. They didn't explain why, but the answer was no. And I didn't get upset, right? Although I didn't have the plan B, but I just realized that everything is happening for my highest good. And then a couple of months later, that's when my daughter showed up with that question, Mom, hire me the therapist. I did not know about the therapist. We reached out to the dance teacher. The dance teacher said, I have this amazing woman who does the life coaching. That's all your daughter needs. And that was the first time in my life that I heard the word of the life coach. Again, remember that it's never the lack of the resources in the universe, it's the lack of our awareness. And a lot of times people deny something that they don't even know because it's easier to say no to something that rather than just start like really understanding and tapping into that and questioning, right? If everything what you know is true, maybe there is another truth to our life. And it's our responsibility to explore it, right? We all have that free will, whether you want it or not. And the more we ponder upon our life and what we meant here to do, and how can we actually receive exactly what we want, the more we have these deep questions. The quality of the questions that we are asking determine the quality of the answers that we start receiving, right? So again, going back to intentions versus expectations, because I did not hold my hand tight and say, that's how it's supposed to show up in my life. I'm supposed to receive the yes for the application. I'm going to be running that business. I know it would be stressful, but this is something I'm ready to do. And look at that. The universe always delivers what's best for us. Always keep it in mind. If something did not show up the way we expected, because remember, we cannot know the way everything shows up in our life, right? But it's just to say that the universe always knows, and just trust, right? Trust the process and know that everything is going to show up in the right timing. So believe that everything what you meant to meet on your life path is for your own highest good. If there are any challenges, you know that you are strong enough to overcome them. That's why we are here. That's why we are exploring. And that power, just tap to that power that we all have inside of us. Tap to that power and understand that nothing can control you unless you allow it to control you. Don't have any expectations. Release any expectations, because the universe brings something to us in the least expected way, and something that is just miraculously showing up. And trust me, I've been experiencing these miracles multiple times. My clients have been experiencing, and everybody who is tapping into the law of attraction and understand how conscious manifestation works, experiencing miracles as well. So now it's just for you to trust the process and learn how to set these intentions. Remember, intentions is just something that we are willing to see in our life, but we are not going to be attached to that. Expectation is something that we are just attached to that. We want to see it now, we want to see it sooner, but it's not how the universe works. Remember, patience is the virtue. And that's exactly how much we are changing in the process. Because if we are really taking this step by step process, the system that I'm teaching people, people are changing bit by bit, and you become a completely different person. You know how to be patient, you know how to regulate your emotions, you know that nobody can make you happy unless you can make yourself happy. You know that the happiness comes within you, nobody else can make it for you. And you just learn to trust the process and create this magic for yourself, create the outcomes that everybody's at awe, right? So continue on this beautiful journey of manifestation, continue exploring, continue questioning yourself. And I salute you, I celebrate you, And I know this is a beautiful, beautiful path. Keep going, because you are meant to have everything what you want, but you have to put the work to it, right? And our fun work for the day is going to be intention journaling. You can even create your own notebook, and you can cut out some images, maybe some statements, some words, some quotes, some beautiful pictures. Just make it your own beautiful project, and set aside time each week to write down your intentions. Use the prompts such as, what do I truly desire? Or how do I want to feel? Remember, the more we are going to connect with these questions, the more we are going to ask these deep questions, the more we are going to receive the answers. That's it for me for now. Thanks so much, Wendy, for joining. Thanks for everybody who stopped by. And thank you for everybody who's going to be watching the replay. Remember, we are more powerful that we are actually know about it. And the more we tap into our inner strengths and inner power, we realize that we can create miracles for ourselves. It's all about just trusting the process, walking this beautiful path, and enjoy every moment of it. Love you all, and I'll see you. Thank you so much, Wendy, and I'll see you all tomorrow. All the best.